The first command, at echo off, simply tells the computer not to display each of the commands on the screen as they run. The next three lines that we would type here are simply called remark commands, the remark lines. The rem statement at the beginning of each line tells the computer to ignore these lines. These are used to document the file and to serve as reminders of what the file does if you forget later on. The next line simply tells the computer to clear the screen, CLS. Now we're going to enter the xcopy command. The xcopy command, of course, is built in the syntax that you copy from the data source to the target. For example, we're going to type it as follows. Xcopy space F:\star space E:\network space /v/H/G/H/R/K/O/Y. Let's go over exactly what we were telling the computer to do with this command. Xcopy, of course, is the command that instructs the computer to copy a file or set of files from one place to another. After the space, the F: defines the source drive that you will be copying from. The ** tells the computer what files you want to copy. Star is a wildcard, so it says copy all of the files. After another space, the E:\network tells Xcopy that the files are to be copied to the drive E and put into the folder network. After another space, there are a sequence of letters, each of which is separated by a /. These are the command line switches that tell Xcopy exactly how to copy the data. If you want to know what each of these switches does, you should refer to the Xcopy command line reference sheet that is available by clicking on the Downloads button. Next, I want to include a command that will write a note to the file stating when the backup was last run. This is done using the echo command. The syntax for this is echo space backup space complete space %, date, %, space, %, time, %, space, right arrow, E:\backup.log. This simply tells the computer to write, or echo, the words backup complete, followed by the date and time, to a file on the backup drive called backup log. The twin right arrows instruct the echo command to append the information in the file, so it builds a running log as we go along. We'll take a better look at this later. The next command tells the computer to again clear the screen. And that's it. The entire sequence is those 4 simple commands. Of course, now we need to save the file in a manner that allows the computer to run the commands as a script. This is called a batch file. To do this, select File, then Save. In the Save In field, click on the down arrow and select Local Disk C. In the File Name field, type netbackup.bat as in batch. Then click Save. Now comes the fun part. We test our backup routine for the first time. Now, double-click on the My Computer icon, double-click on the Local Disk C icon, and then look for the file called NetBack, or NetBackup, and double-click on that. A DOS window will open, and you can watch your files copy over in real time. The amount of time that a backup takes to finish is dependent upon the size of the dataset and the speed of the portable drive, as well as the speed of the connection or network connection. Once the copy process is complete, we can check the log file by opening the My Computer icon, selecting the removable drive icon, and opening the backup.log file. The computer will ask you what application to use to open this file, and you should select Notepad. You should make sure that Always Use this application to open this file is not checked. The final step is to use the Scheduled Task utility to allow the backup routine to be run on a regular basis. To do this, go to Start, Control Panel, and select Scheduled Tasks. Click on Add Scheduled Task. The Scheduler wizard will open. Click Next to continue. On the next screen, select Browse. Navigate to the local disk C, if that is not already the default, and click on the Net Backup icon. Click Open. When prompted to enter a name for this task, type a name of your choosing. In our case, we are calling it LiveBack. Next, select the latency for the task. For our purposes, we're going to select daily. Click Next. Next, you want to select the time that you want to run the task. Since you probably don't want this running during business hours, I would suggest that you choose a time outside of business hours. You should also check to make sure that the time you choose does not overlap any other automatic tasks, such as uploads and downloads, virus updates or scans, or other backup systems. For our example, we're going to select 1 a.m. and tell it to start tomorrow. If this computer automatically goes into sleep mode or is on a network server, you want to tell it to log in as a user to run the task. You will need to enter the username and password in this section. You will need to enter the password twice, and remember that it is case sensitive. Click Next. The next screen tells us that we have successfully scheduled the task. Click Finish. That's it. Of course, you need to remember to connect the drive to the system and power it on to make sure that it runs each day. Also, it is a very good idea to have multiple drives that you alternate back and forth. That way you always have a copy of your data that can be stored off-site. In our next segment, we're going to set up our virtual server and workstation and show you how to access your data from another location.